Hello everybody and welcome to W3L Wrestling Showdown here on the W3L network. I of course am Stevie Wizard. Thank you for being part of this, thank you for joining us and subscribing, and thank you for making your plans to join us on Friday the 5th of February in Grangemouth for Remedy. It's going to be the best way to kick off 2016 for the Worldwide Wrestling League, not least when you consider we're going to have Leah Owens issuing an open challenge for the Women's Championship. We've also got the heavyweight title on the line, as the W3L heavyweight champion, Joey Legend, will be taking on the number one contender, whoever that might be, for the heavyweight title. And who might that be? Well, we're going to be finding out in just a few moments. But remember, tickets for Remedy and all of our live events in February are available from our website right now, W3LWrestling.com. And again, use Showdown as a coupon code and you can have yourself 20% off your tickets. So last week, we saw James Scott defeat Murado and Mike Musso defeat Lucian Maynard Smith in our qualifying matches in our heavyweight title number one contenders tournament. It's finally been said. Scott will take on Musso and the winner becomes the new number one contender to the W3L heavyweight title. Will the contingency plan gain yet another victory, or is Mike Musso able to challenge once more for that heavyweight title he so desperately craves? There's only one way for us to find out, and that is by heading right now to ringside for the finals of the heavyweight title number one contenders tournament.
I'll wrap this shit up in your face, son.
You even need that chain,
Hey, I can think of a really good place to stick that chain. Under the ring. Your ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is a singles match set for one fall and is the finals of our heavyweight title. Introducing first in the corner to my left, from the plain of Lanarkshire, being at 205 pounds and representing the contingency plan, James Scott. And your next heavyweight champion! Introducing his opponent, standing in the corner to my right, from Kentucky, being at 235 pounds, he is the merchandise Mike Musso!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown, and it's the finals of our number one heavyweight title contenders tournament. Last week we saw that man in the black singlet, James Scott, overcome Murado, and that man in the front of your screen in the camouflage and red tights, Mike Musso, defeating Lucian Maynard Smith. So these two men will now collide with each other one-on-one, and at stake is that number one contendership for the heavyweight title. And as a consequence, the main event spot at Remedy, of course, coming up at the start of February. And James Scott immediately leaving the ring. And I'm assuming this is not cowardice on his part. I mean, we know how dangerous a wrestler is. We've seen what he's been up to since he returned to W3L as part of the contingency plan. But he's obviously doing this just to try and throw Musso off whatever game plan Musso's come with. Both men do it in this match with momentum. James Scott was beating Murado last week, like I said, and Musso defeating Lucian Maynard Smith. So it's not like either man's on a losing streak or anything like that. Scott has had some real wars with Musso over the years. They fought multiple times here in W3L and in other organisations as well. And an interesting thing to note is that, of course, James Scott's kind of had the better of Musso as of late. Now, let's not forget, when he returned to W3L as part of the contingency plan, he helped Dickie Divers regain the tag belts from Musso and Nathan Reynolds in a tables match. And it was Musso that went through the table to give the contingency plan those titles back. During the four-way elimination match, the heavyweight title on our anniversary edition of Showdown, James Scott was the man who eliminated Mike Musso from the match. And Musso just singing in the crowd here because he knows that in Bedlington in November of last year. Mike Musso teamed with Kevin Williams to get a shot at the contingency plan, divers and Scott for taboos. And yet again, the contingency plan won the match. So Musso's had a losing streak against James Scott as of late. Further into this, as Scott antagonises the audience, James Scott's had 3 title reigns here in W3L. He's been heavy champion once and tag team champion twice. One of these reigns is the one that he currently has as 1/3 of the contingency plan. 2 of these reigns have come about by him defeating Mike Musso. I mentioned before, he put Musso through a table to become tag team champion along with Taylor Bryan and Dickie Divers. But he won the heavyweight title from Mike Musso back in the April of 2010. Now, by all intents and purposes, James Scott has Mike Musso's number and has beaten him multiple times. Musso has defeated Scott, but it's stacked in Scott's favour, so it looks very much, certainly on paper, like the main event of Remedy will be Joey Legend putting the heavyweight title on the line against James Scott. But saying that and doing that are 2 completely different things, because Scott has to get through a fired up merchandise Mike Musso. And Scott finally waiting till Musso's back is turned and jumping him from behind. And Musso would desperately love to regain the heavyweight title. We've detailed this before in the past here in Wrestling Showdown. But of course he got eliminated from that 4-way match in the anniversary show, and he definitely would like to put the contingency plan in their place. And Musso, oh, and he dumps James Scott at the top rope, an unpleasant landing. And what's Musso going to do here? Shawn McLaughlin telling him to kind of keep away, because really this is technically illegal. Scott appears to be hung out to dry. He can't get off that rope. Oh, and Mike Musso bouncing James Scott up and down. I think him being admonished there by the referee, understandably, but the crowd certainly enjoyed it. James Scott not so much. That deep voices will be a couple of octaves higher now, I think. As I said, Mike Musso would dearly love to knock James Scott out of this tournament, if only to get back at the contingency plan. They put Musso through tables, they cost him a victory at 7 Deadly Sins back in July, and been a thorn in his side. And so if he can get the upper hand over them and cause them some damage, shall we say, he'd dearly love that. But Musso being goaded in though, and James Scott pulls him by the ankles. Bad move by Musso. I think perhaps the emotions are running high. I'm hoping he's taking a kind of clinical approach to this, because if he's letting his emotions rule what he does, he's going to make mistakes like we just saw. Scott's got hold of his own, do Sexilla Morado, launch with the ring post, and Musso hits it. Don't think he quite hit it as much as Scott would have liked, but certainly his shoulder hit the ring post. Musso does generate a lot of arm-based offense, clothesline slams, that kind of thing. Hard to do with a bad shoulder. Oh, those long legs of Musso's working for him, and James Scott went right in that post and bounced right off it as well. He may have loosened a few teeth. I think a trip to the orthodontist is in order tomorrow morning. And Musso getting Shawn McLaughlin to check under the ring to make sure it's still secure. While it's happening, they're fighting around the building, and they've gone to the bar, and I don't think it's a round of drinks that Musso's got ready for him. There's a tray across the head. Certainly here in W3L, every seat is a front row seat. Wait, what? Hang on! James Scott's got a broom! He's trying to wipe the floor with Musso, it looks like. And they're getting dangerous up close and personal in front of the crowd here. Musso's picked up. Oh, and slams him into one of those seats. Oh, and Mike Musso just dumps a table on James Scott. Now that would surely be a disqualification, but Shawn McLaughlin's disappeared from view. I think he's still in the ring. And Mike Musso going to various lengths here to try and get the advantage and get the victory over James Scott. But Scott firing back with some shots to the lower back. I talked last week about I think Musso's back isn't 100%. And they're marching round the ringside area. Ideally they want to get back to the ring as soon as possible, because you obviously can't win on the floor. But it's an opportunity for both men to do a lot of damage. And Scott's put Musso in a seat. Oh, and he just charges at him. And James Scott throws himself at Mike Musso, knocking him off the seat, and that's an unpleasant landing. Shawn McLaughlin finally here to restore order. Got staff coming from the back to check on the two wrestlers, make sure the fans are safe. And James Scott just delighting in this. We've seen what the contingency plan will do. I mean, hell, Scott brings a thick chain to ringside. So, I mean, he is definitely averse to using any foreign objects. And he finally gets Musso back into the ring here. And now I think he's got Musso where he wants him. Both men have suffered some major damage on that floor. And Scott with a body slam, again targeting the back of Musso. And again, Musso doesn't say he's got an injured back, he doesn't claim that he's hurt. But I honestly think there might be some damage to that back still. But the fighting champ that Musso is, people's champ certainly, he's not going to tell you he's got a bad back, he'll just grit his teeth and get through it. And that landing off the middle ropes isn't going to help him. James Scott saying he's nothing. What's he going to go for? Could be a double foot stomp. Notice a splash off the top. 1, 2. Musso powers out. James Scott has used that foot stomp, but you see using something a bit different. Again, because these men have wrestled each other before, much like we saw last week with Musso and Smith, you almost have to try something new, try something different that your opponent's not expecting. One more time, he reckons. This could put Musso away, and if he lands it, we'll see what happens. Scott off the top, and he went for the foot stop this time, but Musso got out of the way. And he hits a body press, but does not go for a pin. Immediately back at the turnbuckles. Musso accelerating the pace in this match here. And a double axe handle. And Scott's reeling, and Musso still going for the moves, not going for a pinfall attempt. And a clothesline, and he drives the arm in for the cover. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Oh, but only 2. Almost like slight hesitancy from Shawn McLaughlin, but regardless, James Scott kicks out of it. This match continues, and you know that somewhere the heavyweight champion Joey Legend is watching this match with keen interest, because the winner of this contest advances to Remedy on February 5th to face him for the heavyweight championship. And it would be an awesome contest with either man. Oh, Shawn McLaughlin got pushed into the ropes by James Scott. And that is what I'm talking about. The contingency plan members are going to do anything they can to get their own way and their victory. Because Shawn McLaughlin can't really call it as a DQ because it's back to James Scott. I mean, for all he knows, Scott just tripped up. So he can't really call it as a disqualification because he doesn't know it was specifically on purpose. James Scott, all the way for a bulldog, but Musso turns it in that back suplex and drops a big splash. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and again James Scott kicking out. And when you've got two men like this, like Musso and Scott, both former heavyweight champions, they know what it takes to get the job done, to win the big matches, to gut their way through to the big victories. So it's going to be hard for either man to put his opponent away, I think. Scott is reeling somewhat. Musso hoists him across the shoulders. Scott's tasted this before, and he immediately gets out. And does he go for a German suplex attempt? Musso the standing switch. Scott firing back elbows at him. Oh, and he hits referee Shawn McLaughlin. It looked like James Scott was going for a boot. Musso kind of moved out of the way. Shawn McLaughlin got nailed. And he's inadvertently rolled to the floor. This will be a sore landing as well. So that we have no referee. Much like earlier, they're on the floor. And Musso with a body slam, but it looked like a struggle to pick him up. I think that back's giving him grief. And he's going to check on the referee. This is Musso's opportunity to drill James Scott with some big moves. We can't obviously get a pinfall victory unless we get another referee out here. So it's like Musso's going to the top turnbuckle. If he lands his flying elbow drop. I don't know if he's used a lot. This could be it. Wait a minute. The pink and black. It's not the Heart Foundation, it's a contingency plan. And Dickie Divers just launching Musso. And they're just putting the boost up. This is what's going on here. The contingency plan, obviously willing to do whatever it takes to get their man through. They want that heavyweight title. And they're going to triple team Musso. This is disgusting tactics we come to expect from the contingency plan. See James Scott checking to see where Sean McLaughlin is. And he's picked up that tag belt that Taylor Bryan brought to ringside. I think Mike Musso's about to get an up close and personal view of that tag team championship belt. And Musso's being held. And he gets nailed right in the face with the tag belt. And the plan, their plan, should I say, has obviously worked. James Scott's going to advance. 1, 2, 3. No, Mike Musso kicks out. He has just taken a tag team championship belt to the forehead, and yet he still kicks out. And you can see the contingency plan cannot believe what has happened. They thought Musso was a sitting duck. It was like a fly trapped in a spider's web. And Sean McLaughlin being held in the corner there by James Scott, who's dug out his chain. And the tag team champ, well, technically they're all tag team champs, but Bryden and Divers holding Musso in place. If he gets hit with this chain, he's done for. And hang on, it's the Coffey brothers. It's Mark and Joe Coffey. We've seen their problems with the contingency plan, and they've come to the aid of Mike Musso. And James Scott suddenly finds that he's left all on his own one-on-one. And the Coffeys and the contingency plan have had their problems. James Scott can't believe it. His idea of hammering Musso with that chain has gone to naught. Sean McLaughlin back to his feet. Mike Musso just waiting. Scott doesn't realise he's here. Up across the shoulders he goes. Down. And it's the blunt force shower. And Musso covers him. 1, 2, 3. And Mike Musso beats James Scott. So at Remedy on the February 5th, it's Legend versus Musso for the heavyweight title. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Musso defeats James Scott and becomes the #1 contender to the W3L Heavyweight Championship. And that means that on Friday, the 5th of February at Grangemouth at Remedy, we will see the merchandise Mike Musso challenge the W3L Heavyweight Champion, Joey Legend, for the W3L Heavyweight title. That is a main event you do not want to miss. In addition to that, of course, Leah Owens is putting the women's title in line against any challenger in that open challenge, and there'll be so much more besides. Get your tickets from W3LWrestling.com right now. Now, as you know, we go around the country filming events, and matches end up here on Wrestling Showdown, but we also have matches that are exclusive just for the fans in the building. And one of our recent events, the Coffey Brothers challenged tag team champions at the Contingency plan. The belts on the line, and through fair means and foul, mainly foul, the Contingency plan retained the tag team championship. We're going to take you to some brief highlights of what went down as the Contingency plan battled the Coffeys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the contingency plan have been disqualified. Coffey Brothers. Unfortunately, championships cannot change hands on disqualification, so therefore the contingency plan are still tag team champions.
West Region!
If that's the way it's going to be, contingency plan, if that's the way you want to play this, next time when we face off against each other, it's going to be a no disqualification match.
So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there are still underlying tensions between the Coffees and the contingency plan. So on Friday the 5th of February at Remedy in Grangemouth, the contingency plan must defend the tag team title against the Coffee Brothers in a no disqualification match. That is one you cannot afford to miss. When you add that to the fact that Leah Owens is issuing the open challenge for anyone to face her for the women's title, when you add to the main event of Mike Musso challenging the W3L heavyweight champion, Joey Legend, for the heavyweight title, plus more besides, this is an event you cannot afford not to be at. So go to W3Wrestling.com and get your tickets for Remedy right now. But while you're there, why not get tickets for our other live events in February? Remember, on Sunday the 7th, we're going to be in Buckhaven. On February the 11th, which is the Thursday, we're going to be in Berwick-upon-Tweed. The Friday sees us in Stockton-on-Tees. The Saturday takes us to the Southside Community Centre in Edinburgh. And then on Sunday, February 14th, we will be in Gala Shields. I can exclusively reveal to you some of the things we'll be seeing. I know in Buckhaven that the former heavyweight champion Nathan Reynolds will be making his return. He's not been seen since Nathan Reynolds versus Joe Legend a few weeks ago here in the Showdown. You saw what happened to Reynolds then. He is coming back in Buckhaven. In Berwick-upon-Tweed, we're going to be joined by Grado. He's making his return to W3L. In Edinburgh, we know that Tango Time Wiley challenges Mike Musso, who might be heavyweight champion at that point. And of course in Gala Shields, we know that El Technical will be back, and he's facing the very good Mr. Ewan G. Mackey. All this and so much more happen on these live events. Get your tickets right now from our website, W3Lwrestling.com. Go on our Facebook page. We're at facebook.com/W3Lwrestling. Confirm your attendance on all our live events. Tell people that you're going along. Give us a follow on Twitter. We're at W3L Wrestling. Use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown and be part of W3L, because live W3L is much better than watching us here on the Showdown. Although that's pretty good too. But live is where it's at. Come out and see us. And then join us again in 7 days' time right here on the W3L Network for more Wrestling Showdown.